So the next topic we're going to look at is something called a stack. And if you think about it, a stack in real life is just something that has a number of items layered on top of one another. So for example, maybe you're going to the Mandarin restaurant and you want to go grab a plate from the buffet. The way those things work is you have a big box, and if we're looking at it, this is like a cross section. Essentially there's like a tube, and inside this tube is a whole bunch of plates, and they're all spring loaded and they push themselves up one at a time. But the way it works is you have a top plate, and underneath that is a whole bunch of more plates. If I wanted to get down to the fourth plate, I would have to remove that one, and that one, and that one, until the fourth plate is now at the top of the stack of plates. Another time you might see a stack is when you come into class in the morning and you see a stack of chairs, you're trying to get one for your desk. Now, normally speaking, you see the stack, and maybe they're just all on top of one another, so on and so forth. If you were to grab a plate or grab a chair from the stack, you wouldn't grab from the middle or the bottom, you'd always grab the top one. This idea of always grabbing the top of the stack is really what's essential to the concept of a stack. The stack follows something called LIFO order. What does that mean? Well, LIFO stands for last in, first out. So if we think about this for a second, if you have a stack of chairs, every time you stack another chair, that chair is the last one on there. But in order to remove a chair, you're always taking the last one that was added. It's never the first one. The first one isn't ever going to get taken away until all the ones above it are gone. So the last one on the stack is the first one to come off the stack. So that's the basic concepts of what a stack is. Where would we see these types of things in real life? Well, obviously in these types of instances. But where would we see them in programs? Things like card games, when you have a deck of cards. Or one of the more obvious examples is things like a back and forward button on a browser. So for example, if you had a collection of, maybe this is your back forward stack, every time you visit another website, it's added to the stack. You visit another one. You visit another one. And as you add them, and let's say you decide to hit the back button, what happens is the top one is then removed and the web browser is directed towards that website. And now the one before that is now the current top of the stack. So this idea of keep adding on and adding on and adding on as you continue to navigate creates this stack interface. And then as you remove one by hitting the back button, we just keep popping them off one at a time. So those are the basic concepts of a stack and some applications.